everyone, it's Miss Britt, and this is your virtual art camp. I'm so excited that you're participating, and this is going to be so much fun, or at least I hope it is. I've had so much fun creating these sample works for you, and I did a little shopping under $20 and just to see how much it would cost in case you didn't have any of the materials on the supply list. So make sure you go by the middle school and pick up an art camp paper packet. It has all the instructions on it, slideshows printed. You have a piece of watercolor paper inside and some stencils and photo references for each activity. So take advantage of that and go by on your own time. And grab that with your mom or dad or aunt, uncle, or grandmother so that you can have that to go on and take your time. You have 5 activities to do in 3 weeks so you can pace yourself and not rush. Okay, so here are the materials that I have listed on your paper packet and in your document on Google Classroom. You will need a wooden pencil. I say wooden because mechanical pencils don't blend, and we're going to do some shading and smearing with this, so this is perfect unless you have a whole pack of those fancy drawing pencils. Those are okay too. An eraser, a handheld eraser. I mean, I wear these very thin all the time, and I don't have any pencils in the house that have an eraser on them, so I always keep one of these handy. A little container to put my shavings in with my sharpener. So just make sure you have something ready to draw. Each approach needs some kind of idea, so most of them you need to draw something initially. And then there's the paper. Now if you have cardstock or bristleboard or something really thick like cardstock, but even like thin cardboard you could use on one of these activities or 2, but you are going to do a watercolor, and like I said, I provided one of those sheets. So this is from Corn Dog box that we went through. So I mean, this is a good thick backing for at least your first activity and your second. So you can be resourceful, but if you needed to just go to Walmart, you can get a whole poster board for like 69 cents, 68, 69 cents, and cut it into 4 sections. And you have every activity a piece of paper to work on. It works well with watercolor. It will warp a little bit, but don't worry about that. You can always fix that with the iron on the back. I've done that many times. So you have a poster board cut into 4 sections. That 5th activity actually calls for copy paper, so no worries there. And you'll need a set of watercolors. And if you already have some, great, but I went and bought some because I didn't want to use my professional ones because they're so expensive. But these Crayolas are amazing, and they're the 2 times more color pack, 8 count, and they were like $1.96, I'm guessing, but it was under $2 that I found this, and it is awesome. And every painting I did for this activity was using this. I didn't use any of my fancy paints because I didn't want to give you a different result. Okay, so also the acrylics. You can go get the apple barrel paints at Walmart, but they're limited. I went in there the other day and there was hardly anything left. So if you like to go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, it'll be a good chance to get out. But of course, if you already have acrylics, like a set, an art set, then I mean, you can use that, any kind of acrylics. But I go and get the off-brand, the Great Value brand. Master's Touch is Hobby Lobby, and it's like $3 or $4 a tube, so it's kind of expensive compared to Apple Barrel. But I get about 3 colors of that acrylic paint for one of your activities. And then the brush. I just like these little square brushes. You can use the brush that comes in your watercolor set, but I like these really delicate, soft brushes that are wide enough that I can spread around the paint. And this is good for both mediums, acrylic and watercolor. So if you already have a brush, great. I have tons of brushes, so if you need one, just let me know and I can drop it off at the art camp bin and let you pick one up. So the painter pen, paint pen, you don't have to use this. It's optional. It's just a great idea on one of the projects to use a paint pen. I got gold just to see what it would look like, and it turned out really good. I was thinking white. Of course, black, you could just use a Sharpie, but any color. This was $2.24 at Walmart, and I got a turquoise, a white, and a gold, but the example I gave you used gold. Okay, a stamp or a stencil. Now, this is optional too, but it just, on that, the second activity, I used one, and I used a really big round brush, which I don't know what happened to. So, you can make these on your own. Just get, like I said, the corn dog box and cut out a shape. Or you can use a stamp, or you can chisel a shape out of an apple or a potato like you did as a kid and make a stamp. You don't have to use them. It's just to add a little flair to your project. Glue, you would need that for your collage activity. I use glue stick, but you do whatever you have at home. You have Mod Podge, great. If you have liquid glue, great. Any kind of glue will work. A pen. I literally used, well, I had a Sharpie pen, but it doesn't last very long. Something about the paint, the pigment comes off and it like dries out the pen. So a ballpoint pen is more dependable, and you have those laying around your house. If you're like us, you have like 50 of them in your junk drawer. So ballpoint pen is useful. Of course, a Sharpie or a Crayola marker. You don't have to have a Sharpie, but we have those laying around too. So any kind of Sharpie or marker. And then just for the bubble effect on one of your activities, I bought 3D puff paint, and it is 96 cents, and you have to get white, and you'll see if you'll go through all your examples, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's for bubbles, so you'll have fun with that. Then scrap paper, scrapbook paper, construction paper, old artwork, magazines. There's a list of ideas in your packet of all the things that you can use for scrap paper for your collage. So what I did is I went and gathered all the my kids' artwork that, you know, I had stacks and stacks of, and I narrowed it down to a few pieces, and I cut up different shapes. So if you want to go through some old artwork, that could be useful too. But that is pretty much, oh, and a cup of water. I'm sure you can find that. I really hope you can find a cup of water. Oh, and scissors. If you don't have the kid scissors, then just make sure you don't, you know, get too crazy with your scissors. But I had these laying around for my kids, so if my kids can use them, you can. It's really only one activity that you use scissors, maybe two. Alright, so those are the materials. If you have any questions about them, just shoot me an email. It's shanna.britt@petalschools.com. And like I said, if you need any of these materials and you really don't have anything, then please let me know. I'd love to provide those materials to you because they are easy to come by in my house.